Ron, what the hell are you running from?
You know, I could ask you the same question. Except, I already know the answer.
Oh, you do ya?
I do, Mr. Franz. You gotta get back out in the world. Get out of that lonely house, that little workshop of yours. Get back out on the road. Really? You're gonna live a long time, Ron. You should make a radical change in your lifestyle. I mean, the core of man's spirit comes from new experiences.
Did I hear that correctly? He said the core of man's spirit comes from new experiences. All of these places I've been to were all spontaneous decisions that were made last minute, ranging from Colorado, Utah, the west coast of the United States, and even Hawaii. And although these were some of the greatest times for me, I wasn't always an outside kid. Throughout my childhood, I've had a friend named Chase, who has been with me since 5th grade, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have had the drive to enjoy the outdoors.
In 5th grade, it was the first day of school. It was my birthday, actually, and the teacher was making us all go around the class and like say stuff about ourselves. And I was like, it's my birthday today, actually. And I remember because I was begging my mom not to let me go to school that day because it was my birthday, and she was like, nope, it's the first day, you're going. And so I was like, oh yeah, it's my birthday. And then everyone was like, oh, happy birthday. Then like after, you came up to me, you were like, oh, it's so cool, it's your birthday today. I was like, oh, thanks. And then I guess from there we kind of just started talking every day, and then we both realized that we rode our bikes home from school. And then we realized that we lived down the street from each other, so we just started riding our bikes on the same path. We would just run around the neighborhood on our bikes or do whatever. We'd either hang out with the kids on the street, or we would play video games inside. It was either like Black Ops 3 or Mortal Kombat or Minecraft. It was one of the three. We were always playing them. We never really left the neighborhood that much. Not that I remember in like elementary school. It was mainly stuck in the neighborhood, but we always had fun. We would always play like football in the streets. We'd race bikes. We used to hang out with Miguel a lot. I don't know if you remember this, actually. This is like very specific. It was me, you, and Miguel. And we were all like showing off our tricks on the bike and stuff. And there's like a little speedometer to like show like how fast cars are going. And we all racing to see who could go the fastest. I think Miguel ended up winning. I don't know if it was me or Miguel. Oh yeah, we used to do manhunts all the time and stuff too. Those were really fun because we used to limit ourselves, but it was still like a huge area because we'd have to like the end of the street, which is where my house was, to the end of our friend MJ's street house, who was on like at the other end of the street, and we would just do giant manhunts down the street. And then when I moved to the apartment complexes and with Dominic and stuff,
It made it so much like
yeah, it made it so much funner because the complex was kind of split into like two parts. So we would just block off one part, like the pool area, and we used to do giant manhunts. That's when Dominic would like climb the trees and he'd like echo his voice out and stuff.
Listen, old man, don't psychoanalyze me, all right? Shut up. I'm taking you out to where we're going. Where are you going? I told you, we're going nowhere!
Although Chase was one of my bigger reasons that I started to go outside, it didn't stop there. One of these friends was Glenn, someone I didn't think I would ever come across in my life. I met him on the bus in 6th grade, and on November 3rd, 2017, I came over to his house for the first time. We decided to go to the woods that were conveniently at the back of his house, and almost every day after school we would go to these woods and try to build stuff that we would think was the coolest thing in the world. What was the normal kind of stuff that we would do when we were outside?
Shoot, from traveling miles to go to like a Walmart or gas station or something, or just meeting up with people, going to it was always random. Like we never really had a plan so much. It was like, oh, let's go to this general area of town and see what happens, or let's go work on our fort in the woods or something crazy like that. Oh, we would go to the field a lot behind my house. The park. That's like where we spent years.
What was like the main thing that we did while we were there?
Football, manhunt, just with the whole neighborhood kids. Like, remember that? I'm talking, we did everything. We made remember the fort we had there?
Yeah, in the fort. What kind of like what do we have in the fort? Because all I can remember was like the swing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, we had we made lots of we made parts where you could go up onto a tree, like certain part, and we had it all connected, and then also the swing we had ropes, kind of where you could climb to other places. Just cool, chill spots. I think we even made a what's it called? Where you lay in it, almost like a hammock or something.
A hammock.
We made one of those just for a little bit.
What? And then over here was like a little hammock thingy that we made with the branches. And I guess over time the nature kind of fell apart. But that was basically it. And why did we... I was gonna say, why did we stop going there?
Shoot. I was going off to high school around that point. I think, yeah. And I think I started, getting ready to move away too, just down the road more. At my next house, the Lansdowne one.
Glenn was a very close friend of mine in my middle school years. Unfortunately, he was constantly moving and made it difficult to hang out with him as much as we used to. We slowly drifted away, but every now and again we talk and catch up on what's going on in our lives. Of course, this was very poor timing when the coronavirus broke out. I basically had nobody to talk to during the whole experience, and I was left alone. I felt that staying cooped up in my own home for too long drove me crazy. When the coronavirus became a serious issue in the United States, I had the desire to go outside, no matter what circumstances I had to go through to do it. It was March of 2021 I decided to talk to a student in my journalism class. I knew him a little bit from freshman year, but I decided to ask him to hang out in the following Friday of that week. His name is Jordan, and if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have had the strength to break my social barrier. Jordan suggested we met at Tradition Square in Port St. Lucie, and with that, it helped me develop the network of people that are now my friends. All we did was meet up and do what all kids wanted to do, have fun in the great outdoors. The videos I produced with this group of friends stayed continuous. I had an audience growing and I was really making something happen. All of a sudden, my dad suggested getting a job. It put me in an environment to work 6 days a week, and it left me with only Mondays off, the only day that a majority of friends aren't available. So, as of recently, I've been contemplating buying a tent. Okay, so I caved in and bought a tent, but I needed to learn how to set it up for the future so whenever I do go camping, I can be prepared. I decided to bring Chase along with another friend of mine, Nina, as they observed me build my tent for the first time. Once I started drifting away from childhood, approaching adulthood, I realized that I was missing a crucial part of living that really makes you feel much more comforted. Written by a wise man named Christopher McCandless, happiness is only real when shared.